Howdy folks, Brian Cusco here at Triple B, and this is going to be what may be one of our last at-show interviews because we're going to move over to the live platform of doing interviews with people so that you guys can participate in the live chat below while we're having our guests on, and then just really gives us more access to people across the world and the country to have on for guests on Triple B TV. So again, maybe one of the last ones that we do in person. Not that I'm not open to doing more in the future, but really going to try and gear toward doing the live stream style, just so we can have you guys participate in live, be able to ask your questions of our guests as the interview is happening. So looking forward to doing that. But in the meantime, we've got Redline Science, our newest sponsor on the channel here, and we've got Robin Markland of Redline Shipping and Science to sit down with us and talk about some of the new products that Redline is offering and some of the new exciting things happening with Redline. So thank you guys for tuning in. You're watching Triple B TV. Last time we sat down and did a little head-to-head talk interview, we talked about everything except for Redline. We talked about shows. Yeah. Let's talk about Redline today. How about that?
I'm down for that.
All right. So you're the official shipper of NARBC.
We are. Yeah, that was something I was really excited about. I knew I was starting Redline, but there were certain relationships I wanted to try and secure, sponsorships and associations, and the NARBC was right at the top of my list. That and Morph Market. So I was very excited to be able to make that happen. It wasn't easy, It's like, it's a very competitive market. But, literally decades of relationship makes it possible. And so I've been friends with Brian and Bob from NARBC for many, many years. Since the first show, really. And Brian Potter was my first wholesale customer as well, back in the mid-90s, funny enough.
It's a while.
Yeah. So, I had NARBC at the top of my target list. Like, can I make this association happen? And I was fortunate enough to.
Yeah,
and awesome. It's a really big deal, and I'm excited about it. So when we do NARBC shows, we get nice sponsor treatment, like we get to have our booth here in the lobby next to registration. So it's really easy to find us. We get great visibility. Bob and Brian are obviously super supportive, and it makes a world of difference, for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, so you guys are doing shipping, and you guys, obviously, since you started Ship Your Reptiles back in the day, you know that you know what you're doing with shipping.
I know it inside and out, backwards and forwards. Yes.
So much that you got some products now. Let's talk about this Ship Safe Phase Pack.
Phase packs. What is it, Brian?
It's a phase pack. This is where you're going to tell me what it is because I'm a moron.
I'm pretty sure you're holding it sideways.
I'm pretty sure that I'm just trying to get it in focus.
There you go.
Our faces are too handsome. It won't not focus on our faces. There we go. All right, so there it is. Ship Safe Phase. I've never used
packs.
one of these. So
I sent you some so you could check them out.
Right, I just haven't used one yet.
A lot of people haven't. A lot of snake and lizard folks are not super familiar. Phase packs are very popular with invert folks and very popular with amphibian folks. Although actually they're gaining a lot of steam with like crested geckos. So when you have species that are more sensitive to heat, like crested geckos or frogs, or amphibian type stuff, you don't want to get them over hot, but you still want to protect them from getting too cold. That's where the phase pack comes in.
Okay. Well, I would say that most things that you ship are more sensitive to heat than cold. I mean, for example, like the only DOAs I'm aware of, from my experience and from other people's experience, are from overheating, even if it's a ball python.
99% of DOAs are from misuse of heat packs. Using a heat pack when it's not necessary. People get confused because, especially if you're not an experienced shipper, folks think like, oh, reptiles, they like it hot. Not really. The heat is much harder to deal with than the cold is. So shipping in the heat of the summer is actually very challenging. Shipping during the winter is actually pretty straightforward and easy. We have insulated boxes, we have heat packs, and as long as you follow our temperature guidelines, it's safe to ship. But I mean, if you're in Phoenix or Vegas or somewhere where it's 100 plus degrees, it's almost impossible to ship. So the phase pack comes into use in that, especially in those intermediary areas where you're not quite cold enough to need a heat pack. That's where a phase pack can help out. And then a lot of folks also use them in conjunction with heat packs or cool packs because it just adds more thermal mass to the box. And so it helps stabilize the temperature inside the box.
So can you use this, you said that you wouldn't use it in like, if it's like a 40-degree high in the day, you wouldn't use a face pack to keep the box heated?
You could, yeah.
You could?
Yeah.
So how does it?
Well, 40 degrees is plenty into the range of using a heat pack.
Right.
But if it was...
but you could use a face pack in place of a heat pack or no?
No, it doesn't generate its own heat.
Okay.
It doesn't generate its own heat.
So if it's 40-degree high that day, you're going to need to use a heat pack.
You still want to use a heat pack.
Okay.
You still use a heat pack according to our temperature guidelines and shipping standards, yes.
Gotcha.
But if, say, your origin temperature is 60 degrees and you're shipping to a place that's 80 degrees, you would not use a heat pack for that because the 80-degree side that's too warm for a heat pack. That'd be dangerous.
Right.
So if you were doing 60 to 80, you could use a phase pack instead and warm it up. Use that in the box. That would cover your initial part of the trip, but it doesn't throw off heat like a heat pack does. So there's a lot safer range to use it, and it's not going to create that same danger of generating heat inside your box.
So I know how I would pre-cool this. You just stick it in the freezer, right? And
yeah. Fridge or freezer.
Fridge or freezer.
Depending on how aggressively cold you're trying to get it.
On the back here it says 74 degrees. What is in the center of between solid and liquid? What does this mean back here?
The phase material wants to be at 74 degrees.
Okay.
That's where it's going to be. And once it hits that, it's going to be difficult to bump it off of that.
Gotcha.
Because of the thermal mass of the product.
So refrigerator or a freezer to cool it. How about to warm it?
Don't put yours in the microwave.
Not the microwave.
Yes.
Anything but the microwave.
Warm water. Just like a warm water bath.
Okay. And then like how long would you leave it in the like would you put it in like 100-degree water or?
That would be fine. It's not going to melt the bag or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, within 5 minutes, it's going to be plenty liquid.
Oh, really?
So these are reusable. You can use these 100 times.
Okay.
And so when it gets cold, it's going to harden up. When it gets warm, it's going to soften up. Like here, it's, I'm guessing, I mean, it changes phase at 74. Our viewers can't necessarily feel it. But it's a little bit chunky inside.
Yeah, there's a couple of chunks I was playing
it's
with.
Right in there at the mid-70s level.
Okay.
So yeah, if you put that in your pocket and let the body heat warm it up, it would be pure liquid.
And about how long do you think? So you're saying if you like shipped it overnight and it was 60 degrees in a spot, 80 degrees in another spot, that's about the right amount of time that the heat would stay warm for the time that it needs to be.
Well, it would bump up your box temperature in that initial portion of the trip.
Yeah, and then it would.
But then it's never going to go more than the 74 degrees.
Yeah.
So it'll help maintain that interior of the box in that low 70s range, which is going to be safe for most any species at that point.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and without question, there's a little bit of black magic to it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a little scared.
Well, just don't curse yourself with it.
Okay.
But the best thing to do is think about it as thermal mass. So that's why people use it with cold packs, or they use it in conjunction with heat packs, because it prolongs that effect as well.
Gotcha.
If you use it in conjunction with those two things.
Okay. I see.
So like I said, Frog guys, Josh Froggs uses a ton of face packs.
Gotcha.
So they'll put them in the box, and they might put multiple face packs into a box. And the fact they're reusable is great. Like a heat pack you can use one time, and it's dead, you throw it away.
Right.
But yeah, face packs you can use again and again and again.
Awesome.
And what's great about ours,
it's
biodegradable, it's purely organic, there's no funky, weird chemical goo inside. There are other branded face packs on the market that can be toxic and when they leak, which I had them leak all the time. So it was important for us to find a different base that was not going to be a concern for animal exposure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a cool little, product for shipping. It's appropriate for Redline shipping.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, then, of course, you got these scrapers here too, which are...
That's Redline Science product, yeah. So Redline Science is our product company. You're just covering your face?
Yeah, just so that it'll show the focus on this. You
Oh,
can talk
I
about it. I'm just gonna hold it up here.
Smart. You're super pro. Yeah, Redline Science is our product company. Redline Shipping is our shipping company. So this plastic poop scraper, essentially, is one of our most popular products at Redline Science. And we actually include that particular piece right there in every packaging order for Redline Shipping. So every time you order packaging from us, whether it's boxes or heat packs, face packs, or whatever, we throw in free Redline Science products.
So when you order a bunch of shipping boxes like this, then...
Yes. Yeah, you get free product on top of that.
I like that you have the wild harmless thing right on the box, and I don't need to mess with a sticker.
Yep.
To put it on there.
Yeah, you can write it right on there.
I like how big that is on there too, because...
Yeah, nice big visual.
Yeah.
That, of course, would cover Lacey Act requirements for interstate transport of live animals, whether it be reptiles, aquatics, or invertebrates. Invertebrates blowing up, my friend, exploding in the market.
Just like the way they hatch.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, that's the most fascinating part of our industry right now for me. I'm really enjoying learning about all the invert folks, whether it's spider and tarantula folks, or of course the isopod and like the bioactive bug side of things. I mean, it's just insanity how much that's exploded in the last 2 years. And I've known some folks, Josh at BioDude has been working in that area for 5 or 6 years now and building a business. And I think he's kind of pioneered a lot of that movement. And a lot of that's kind of European based, like naturalistic setups and stuff like that. But now the US market is adapting to it and it's all the rage. Like bioactive substrates, bioactive setups, live plants in the vivariums and naturalistic setups instead of paper towels and Santa chips, which is how I used to do it. But I think it's great. I think it's great for the animals. I think it's great for enrichment. I think it's great for the mental exercise. I think it's great for the physical exercise. The downside is it takes up a lot more space, as opposed to an old rack with tubs and stuff in it. But, for the benefit and enrichment of the animals, I think it's fantastic. But I talked to Josh at BioDude this weekend, and the last 2 years, I mean, he's still seeing 20% growth every single year, which is fantastic. And that's even, I mean, he exploded during COVID. I mean, I knew some companies were seeing 60, 70% growth a year, right? Which made it hard for some folks to even keep up. But even now post-COVID, a lot of people have tapered off, but BioDude's still chugging along strong. And they've got a great little setup here. Well, not little, but like a whole end cap, and doing all of their bioactive substrates and selling leaves and selling foods and bug cultures, and I mean it's super fascinating. We never considered that stuff back in the day. Keeping like lizards, monitors, breeding, stuff like that. We never looked at doing like bioactive anything for it. But yeah, I think it's super positive and super fascinating. And that now the money that's involved, I mean, people are spending money on those kinds of setups. I think that's great.
Yeah. I've spent some money on some of those setups myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. You've actually participated in like build competitions, right?
Yeah. I'm going back to the champ. I actually came in the top 3, so I'm going back to the final championship.
You could be world champion.
I could be world champion. I've got some stiff competition. I'll tell you what I got.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because I came in 3rd, and that was at the.
It's bronze.
That's bronze, yeah. But I was up against Clint, and then Garrett. Garrett won.
Did he really?
I told everybody to vote for Garrett because he had such a great enclosure.
Oh, really?
He just had a really good story.
Just selfless.
He had a good story. It tugged at my heartstrings.
Okay.
He involved his grandpa's tools and stuff.
Brian got manipulated. Okay, right on. But now there's going to be a championship.
Now there's going to be a championship.
Yeah, and are you going to just give that one away too, or are you going to try hard?
I don't think so.
You go after it?
I'm going to go after it. If I have to sabotage Garrett's vehicle so that he doesn't make it, if that's what it takes. He did semi-cheat though, you know.
Really?
They changed some rules around because of what he did, I think.
Oh, jeez. Hey, you gotta
Cheater.
You gotta bend it where you can make it, and
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Did a good job.
You know, run right to the edge of what's possible. I'm happy to connect you with BioDude and get you some super sweet magnolia leaves or whatever it is.
Yeah, that could be helpful. Well, I think we're
might
only
need.
allowed to use that's where Garrett broke the rules. I think it kind of like stretched the rules. We're supposed to use what they had there available for us to use.
Oh.
And he kind of went out in that parking lot and started like.
He brought in secret sauce.
Yeah. Little secret sauce.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I thought it was well played.
Yeah. Good for him. But yeah, go for gold now.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. And wear your Redline shirt while you're doing it.
I'll think about it.
Speaking of which,
Speak of it.
I'm so stoked to sponsor you.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
That's
Thanks
fantastic,
for,
man.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
Appreciate it.
I love it. It's fantastic. It was a really good opportunity, and I'm really grateful that you opened up a slot for us.
Sure, man.
It meant a lot to me.
Well, it's
So.
going to be the last slot for the foreseeable future. So.
Well, that's what she said.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be having our live Zoom call tonight, right after this video airs. Not right after, but later this evening. There's a link down in the description if you want to join us for our Zoom on Patreon. And we hope to see you there. But if we don't see you there, then we'll see you next week, right back here on Triple B TV. Y'all take care. Long Saturday.
Nice turnout.
Great turnout.
The line lasted like an hour
Just to get in the
this
show.
morning, just to get in the show.
Yeah.
Opened at 10. I came out at 11:15. There was still a line all the way down the hall. Insanity.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is awesome. I'm very excited for the show, and I think Brian and Bob do a great job. So
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. They've been doing a good job for a long time now, I think.
I mean, at this point, they should be full pros, you would think. But yeah, it's. I mean, this show's not Tinley level, but it's very strong.
Yeah.
It's not a subpar show.
No.
It's a very, very good show.
Yeah,
now.
it's I would call it medium large. Is that fair? If
I was
Tinley's large, this is medium large.
Yeah, I was thinking it was more large medium, but similar.
I see. I understand.
You know where I'm going?
Yeah, it's large medium. I got you.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's medium large.
Maybe it's medium large.
It's not medium.
No,
No.
not a medium.
I mean, I think it's definitely a must-do show at this point.
I'm here.
Then that means must-do.
I don't go to many. I mean,
I saw you at Pomona recently.
oh yeah.
You know, home style.
Of course I'm going to Pomona.
Yeah.
Pomona was the first reptile show I ever went to. You know that?
Really?
Mm-hmm. First ever.
Would you like to know my first show?
Yes.
San Diego IRBA, 1994.
I was 13.
Youngster. It was much more old style. You know, you put your bed sheets over your tables. Like there were no.
I still put my bed sheet over my table.
Sorry. But like there weren't professional table drapes.
Yeah.
Nobody had great signage. Like we were still putting together like the PVC. You'd buy at Home Depot and like make your own sign and then kind of bungee up a sign in the PVC stand. It was very home style. But yeah, we've come a long way.
No doubt.
Now I see. I mean, people have 20-foot signs, and I mean it must be. I mean, somebody like Bob's Balls it's thousands of dollars on their setup.
Yeah.
Now, so yeah, we've come a long way.